Hi, I'm just going to run through in this screencast how to set up the voting pods in terms of registration, and then how to use the most basic of the questioning tools to use impulsive questions. The way I would launch the voting pod registration is from the page browser in Activeexpression Studio. The software is already open because that's the software I'm using to create this screencast. So if I click on the little picture of a voting pod, you can see this is the where we register devices from. If we just click here, it launches the registration software. The first thing I would do is just to clear the hub. Okay, and then click on that. That's the sort of voting pods we use, the ones that allow text response as well. Click on register. We're just going to choose one as our number of users because I'm just doing a demo, but I have a quick count up of my class. I can add more later, but it's much easier to get it right first time. And then for most situations I would allow end user naming. I would always insist that my students put a name in where I know exactly who they are. That helps them keep an eye on their behaviour. They don't have to. It discourages them from putting anything silly in, but also from a learning point of view, it means I know who's making the mistakes and I can keep an eye on that. Click the next button. It's worth having the data projector on in your room for this point, because this shows would appear to the students and they can see how to go through the registration process, but usually I need to talk through it as well because the pictures are a little bit smaller on the screen. So there's the power on buttons, this orange circle on the left. Menu system button is down on the bottom right, and it's a shoulder button to choose register, and then the pin is A, E, A in this case, selected from the shoulder buttons. Now the reason why that pin exists is so that if you've got another group of people using the voting pods nearby, the two hubs know which voting pods is working with which hub. And I'm just putting my name in, clicking send, and the software should now respond. Yeah, okay, so it's now picked up. It takes a few seconds. It's picked up that I've registered, and you can see that I've got my name here. If you weren't happy with that, you could either rename me and ask who that was, or you could remove me if you felt that somebody wasn't playing ball with you. That's done. And now I'll click on here. This is the Express Poll button. It's a simple little wheel, and I'll just go through the major questioning types. That's just allows a numeric response. Means that the students can only put a number in their answer. So if you're asking somebody multiplication questions or basic mental arithmetic, handy button. This one here allows the student to give a text response. That means they can use letters and numbers like on a mobile phone to compose an answer to you. This allows multiple choice, slightly more complicated. You've got to decide how many different answers that are relevant, and then how many different correct answers are. So I tend to use this 4 option little part of the wheel quite a lot, because I've got plenty of old physics multiple choice papers which work well with that. There's a sort in order function. There are various yes/no questions. This is just to access quickly the re-register, and then there's a like at scale. That's just expressing how much you like something. So if you on anything that needs expressing on a scale. So you could put up a question: how well have you understood the causes of the Second World War? And they could assess themselves on a scale of 0 to 7 at your choosing. For the purposes of this screencast, I think I'll just do one question. I'll just make it a text response question, and I'll just click here, and it just shows here how many students we're waiting for a response from, so that your entire class would be in this area of the screen if you're working with an entire class. And my voting pod is responded. It knows what sort of question, and it's just waiting for a text. So as the teacher, I'm just going to ask for what is your favourite colour, and then the student just answers the question using the voting pod in in absolutely normal way as a mobile phone without predictive text. Once they're ready, they just click the send button, and as soon as it's detected that all the people have responded, if there have been multiple users, they turn yellow as the responses are received. If I want to do a follow-on question, I just click that green button and it does the same question again. And you've got various options in here. My students love the who answered what list. They're seeing that I took a massive 31.6 seconds to enter the word green, but in a multiple choice test they'd love to see who'd responded first there. A few interesting little answers here. You can identify a correct answer. So if I put red, my answer isn't identified as correct. Had I written green, then my answer would have changed colour because I've got it right. And then there's quite a nice little thing here called paste the vote results. So if I click there, you can get a summary of how we did. Or here is a word seed, and that puts the word on the screen. If we go back into using this as whiteboard software, we can move those words around. So if you'd ask for some words to describe emotions, you could now sort these out on the screen, assuming you're using a data projector. I think we'll stop it there. I mean, it should give you quite a lot of ideas for how to use this software in your lessons. Thank you.